Welcome to Conversations. My name is Suresh Kochatal. India is now set to be a big semicon player in the next 10 years. That's what the world is saying. The semiconductor industry is the backbone of any modern technology, powering everything from smartphones to computers to cars and advanced defense systems. That is a very small list, but the list is actually very huge. As the global demand for semiconductors continues to grow, nations around the world are racing to establish a robust mechanism to ensure that they have their pie in it. This critical component is essential in every walk of life today. Under Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's leadership, India has now recognized the importance of the semiconductor manufacturing industry and is making significant strides to become a key global player in the global supply chain. Beyond the borders, India is also strengthening its ties with many companies across the world and including countries like Singapore and Taiwan to boost semiconductor innovation and production. It was the impact of COVID on the supply chain that exposed nations like India, which was left high and dry when it came to semiconductors. The semiconductor industry is a highly complex and capital-intensive sector requiring advanced technology and infrastructure. Countries like United States, South Korea, Taiwan, China have long been leaders in the semiconductor manufacturing. These nations have invested heavily in research and development, skilled labor and cutting-edge production technologies, and that is what makes them the leaders today. This has also created opportunities for countries like India to establish themselves as an alternative manufacturing hub. And that's what we are trying now. India has historically been a consumer of semiconductors, importing most of its supply from countries like Taiwan, China, and even Korea. However, as digitization grows in sectors such as telecommunications, automotive, and electronics expand rapidly, the demand in India has surged big time. Recognizing the need, the Indian government has been working on a strong semiconductor ecosystem to reduce the dependency on imports and to foster domestic manufacturing. And that is easier said than done because we have not done anything in the last 60 years of it. And it's only the last 5 to 7 years that we are seeing some action. In fact, India's efforts to establish a thriving semiconductor manufacturing sector have faced several challenges. The first hurdle is a huge capital investment that is required to build a semiconductor fabrication plant that runs into billions of dollars. This has been a big barrier for many international companies in investing in this sector in India. Semiconductor manufacturing demands highly skilled workforce, something that India does not have off the shelf right now, despite the huge engineering base of students that pass out from colleges every year. The workforce that is needed need to have the expertise in advanced technologies like microelectronics, nanotechnology, and material science. India rapidly also needs to train its engineers, rather retrain them, and expand this highly priced talent pool to make semiconductors. In fact, semiconductor production involves a complex supply chain that includes raw materials, equipment, and testing facilities. India, as of now, does not have a well-established supply chain for making semiconductors, making it difficult to scale up large-scale production. While India has a strong IT semiconductor manufacturing, requires special technology and infrastructure, it is still at a very nascent stage in our country. Despite these challenges, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government has shown strong commitment to making India a global head for semiconductor manufacturing. Several initiatives and policies have been introduced, and companies like Intel, TSMC, and even Samsung have been in discussions with the government of India. Several initiatives and policies have been imposed to promote the event sector and attract investment, strengthen India's position in the global semiconductor landscape. In fact, one of the most significant incentives is the production-linked incentive scheme for semiconductors. The center has started working on the second phase of the semiconductor policy, now called Semicon 2.0, which is expected to be in place in 3 to 4 months' time, according to the IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw. It is said that 3 to 4 states have attracted semiconductor investments, and one unit is likely to come up in Uttar Pradesh while another is coming up in Gujarat. In fact, benefits worth 76,000 crore from the first package have been committed to spur the investment announcements, including companies like Micron and the Tatas. And the government now wants to announce a fresh package for those coming in late. Sources said that the new package, which will be placed before the cabinet soon, in all likelihood will be much bigger than the previous one. Already in the first round of the incentive, that has prompted Tatas to announce 2 units, one in Gujarat, another in Assam, with a combined investment, and hold your breath, that is 1.2 lakh crores worth of investment. That huge. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's push to make India the semiconductor hub of manufacturing is also seen the way his ministers are reacting, right from IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav to the Home Minister Amit Shah, to assert that India will become a major player in the global semiconductor market in the next 10 years. Yes, that's what even the ministers are saying. In fact, Amit Shah was in Gujarat actually, and he was saying with confidence that because he felt that the semiconductor is a field where there is big bucks to be made and India can become self-reliant instead of depending on other countries. In fact, the semiconductor chip manufacturing plant is coming up at Sanand. Remember? That is where the Tatas moved in after they were kind of kicked out of West Bengal. In fact, earlier this month, the cabinet also approved the Keynes semiconductor proposal to set up a 3,300 crore unit in Sanand. The US chip maker Micron is building a chip assembly testing facility in Sanand with an investment of $2.7 billion, making it one of the first major projects to take off under the 76,000 crore India semiconductor mission. The facility is expected to roll out in the first India-made chips by the end of this year. Another state that has been quick off the block is Uttar Pradesh. The Yogi Adityanath government on Tuesday said that it is setting up Uttar Pradesh's first semiconductor park near the upcoming Noida International Airport at Jewar, Greater Noida. The initiative is aimed at attracting major chip manufacturing companies to set up operations in the state of Uttar Pradesh. In fact, Economic Times had reported that the HCL Foxconn joint venture has been allocated 30 acres of land near the Jewar Airport to set up the OS80 facility. The government of Uttar Pradesh said that the park will be developed across sectors 10 and 28 by the Yamuna Expressway Industrial Development Authority. The authorities also said that it has a designated land for 2 semiconductor clusters. The first cluster spans 200 acres in Sector 10, while the second one covers 125 acres in Sector 28. To support these clusters, the authority said it would establish the 8 MLD water treatment plant and a 60 MLD sewage treatment plant. It is said that 400, 200 and 132 kV substations are planned to ensure steady power supply to these units. Very critical at that. As the clusters will be located 4 kilometers from the airport, it will offer the companies logistical advantages. The Uttar Pradesh government also said that the upcoming Rapid Rail Transit System or RRTS and the proposed high-speed rail connectivity between Delhi and Varanasi with a station at the Noida airport will also improve connectivity. As per the state's semiconductor policy, there is a 50% additional capital subsidy on top of the subsidy provided by the union government. Under this policy, investors in compound semiconductors, silicon photonics, sensors, ATMP and OS80 are eligible for 75% rebate in land prices, and that is a huge amount of money. The policy also offers 100% exemption for electricity duty for 10 years, along with a dual grid network for uninterrupted power supply. Among the companies that have firmed up their plans, including Tata Electronics, and their president and CEO, Randeep Thakur, said that his company will work with partners to create sophisticated chips and will create 50,000 jobs as a part of the journey. And this is not in Uttar Pradesh, but in other places we are talking about. And definitely, as we go forward, we will see that semiconductors actually create 10 additional jobs in the ecosystem. I mean, this is apart from the factory jobs. That is what you're talking about. In fact, the CEO of the Dutch NXP Semiconductors spoke about doubling the R&D efforts of the company. Kurt Savers said that his company effort of up to $1 billion will be invested, and he said India has 3 critical elements to grow the business. 1, innovation, democracy and trust. NXP, he said, he is here to stay and boost the semiconductor production in India and for the world. In fact, the company has been in India for 50 years and have 3,000 employees and engineers, so it's not a new one. The Japanese semiconductor manufacturer Renesas CEO Hitodo Shibata said that the company will double its headcount in India for the next year and shoulder a lot more value-added semiconductor design activities for the Indian as well as for the global market. In fact, the list goes on and on, from CG Power in India to Larsen & Toubro, which has plans to invest around $300 million to create a chip company. The tech to construction company will spend the money over 3 years to establish a fabulous chip maker with designs and sell semiconductors, but contracts on production are being given out now. It plans to design 15 products by the end of this year and start sales in 2027. This is what they're doing, and that's exactly what's happening. The semiconductor industry in India is poised to play a crucial role in shaping the future of technology in India under the Prime Minister Modi's leadership, and is taking significant steps to establish itself as a key player in this sector. However, challenges remain, and the continued focus on investment, infrastructure and development and talent building will be essential for the country's long-term success in the semiconductor space. Keep watching this space for more. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.